Okay, so this is a presentation which takes you through the project objectives, outputs, and tasks that are for a water policy research project. So the project objectives for those who are doing water policy research are two two objectives. Um, One is to gather evidence. Now, gather evidence from your city because your water policy is relating to your city. And what are you gathering evidence for? You're gathering evidence to determine what is the freshwater saving potential that is present within families, so within indoor and households. So you want to get an understanding of that, or not just understanding, evidence for that. You also want to gather evidence for the freshwater saving that can, the potential that exists from retrofitting the residential, commercial, and institutional buildings in your city. And thirdly, you also want to gather evidence about your city's current operation and maintenance cost for supplying water and distributing water. And lastly, you also need to gather evidence for cities' plans. You know, what investment plans your city has for upgrading the water and sewage infrastructure. Now, how we gather that evidence, we'll talk about that later. But you need to understand this is one of your main objectives, is to gather evidence for these four different items. Then the second objective is, once you gather the evidence, using that evidence, what your objective is, you are going to make a business case for a policy, for a water policy that you would like your city to introduce. And what is the policy you're trying to make a business case for? The policy for incentivizing the existing buildings to retrofit with fresh water saving solutions. So, so basically, this is what the water policy research is going to involve: gathering evidence, and based on the evidence, you are making a business case. Okay, then what are the outputs from the research that you'll be doing, from the project you'll be doing? So the outputs are basically any tangible things that come out of your research are: number one, 20 to 30 responses on the citizen water scorecard. You yourself have taken the citizen water scorecard, so you understand what it involves. It basically is about giving each family, whoever is taking the survey, it gives an idea to them about how much water they are using within their household, how much percentage gets used in what part of the end use, how much water is used for clothes washing, for bathing, for cooking. So they get a nice breakdown about their total water use. They also get to understand how efficient is their water use compared to the standards of efficiency. And it also tells them exactly what actions they can take to make their efficiency better, which means that how much more fresh water they can, savings they can contribute to by making some changes in the form of some low cost hardware or no cost behavior change. So that is what they get in return for the survey they take, which is called Citizen Water Scorecard. So you want people in your network to take that, and you want to target 20 to 30 of them filling the form and taking the survey. That is your tangible output, one of the tangible outputs. The second tangible output is that uh, you will be collecting references, literature references, and the literature could be academic literature or gray literature, where you are able to gather the evidence for the water saving potential estimates for different type of water conservation solutions. So the idea would be to see what others have quoted about from the experience of putting in place a water conservation solution, how much water they were able to save. So that reference is what you're going to use to make your assumptions about the water saving potential from different water conservation solutions. Then the third tangible output for this project is, which is the final one, which is a white paper, which is basically a policy paper, uh, which on water demand management policy that can be introduced by your city municipality. Okay, so then comes, let's talk about now the methodology. So in order to achieve your objectives of gathering evidence and for doing business case analysis, you are going to be using survey. And in this case, one method is survey using the Citizen Water Scorecard tool, which is kind of a survey form. You'll also do desktop research to understand about the water saving potential of many other water conserving solutions that a building can be retrofitted, not just within the household but also outside the household across the building. So you'll identify those use cases and get the evidence for the water saving potential. And also you'll be collecting through desktop research, you may be able to find out about the operating costs, maintenance costs that the city is incurring for running the water supply system, and also what plans they have for what investment plans they have for the future upgrade of water and sewage infrastructure. So this mostly you should be able to get it from desktop research, but if not, you may need to contact someone within the municipality and you can get to the literature or the report which contains that information. Then, so after getting all that data from the Citizen Water Scorecard and from the desktop research, the data analysis is the next step, methodology wise. And then once you analyze the data, you need to make sense of the data or synthesis of the data so that then you can actually write the policy giving the rationale explanation. So then the tasks that set out for this week are that you share the Citizen Water Scorecard link within the families in your network or within your friend network using WhatsApp groups, social media pages. So it's most efficient to do it across a group. So you put out a message and a link to the thing. And again, because you yourself have taken the assessment, the scorecard assessment, you may want to share your own experience, how you liked it, and therefore how much they will also like to learn about their own water consumption. So put a note, a personal note, and share the link. Then, so for that, as I said, you draft a message, and also you can request the fellow interns to help you by sharing your message. So, whatever message you may have drafted, share it with them, and then they can forward it to their friends and their WhatsApp group network as well. So, you'll get more responses. So, and the other task that I've listed is that start making a list of the water conservation this week. I want you to make a list of water conservation solutions um, that you can do desktop research on. And when we say water conservation solution, what we mean is any technology or any method which saves fresh water consumption. So start making a list of what are those different solutions that are out there that can be applied to a building, within a house, or outside the house, within a building, within a residential building, within a commercial building, within an institutional building. So think about the various things that are available out there, and then make a list, and then you can get started on the individual, finding out the individual use cases or case studies. So I've also added a sample message. You can always, edit it, and also I would say put your own experience, share your own experience about the water scorecard, and that way you may get more responses. Share the report that you got if you're comfortable. then that also gives people a very clear idea about exactly what they're going to get, and they may get curious about finding their own report for their own generating the report for their own family. So that is it for this week. So do go through the slides, and if you have any questions, if you're feeling stuck, just post your question on the group, and we will help you out. Okay, all the best.